Good morning, year 10s, and welcome back. Today we're going to look at indirect statements together. So, what is an indirect statement? Let's have a look at two examples together. So, the soldier says the messenger is carrying a letter. In this case, I have speech marks, and I am reporting the exact words used by somebody, by the soldier, and I call this a direct statement. In this other example, the soldier says that the messenger is carrying a letter. I do not have quotation marks. I do not have speech marks. I report the words used by somebody else. I use that to introduce what they said, and this is an indirect statement. So how do I write an indirect statement in Latin? Let's use the same example. The soldier says that the messenger is carrying a letter. In Latin would look like this. Miles dicit nuntium epistulam portare. Miles dicit nuntium epistulam portare. Let's analyze now this sentence together. So, first, nuntium. Nuntium is accusative case, even if the word nuntium is the subject of my indirect statement. And the verb is carrying is infinitive, portare. So indirect statements in Latin can also be called accusative plus infinitive clause. That's because the subject of my indirect statement is expressed with the accusative case, and the verb is always an infinitive. Indirect statements are quite easy to spot, not just because of the accusative and the infinitive, but also because they are introduced by some verbs, some very specific verbs. I have a list here for you. So dicit is an extremely common verb, says, but also narro, nuntio, respondeo, and so on. If you want, you can pause the clip and look at those verbs if you're not sure about the meaning. Let's now focus on the tense of those indirect statements. So in this case, I have the verb dicit, and dicit is present tense, says, and the verb of my indirect statement, portare, is a present infinitive as well. And in this other case, miles dixit nuntium epistulam portare, the verb dixit is perfect tense, so I translate it as said. However, I haven't changed the tense of the infinitive. The infinitive is still a present infinitive. And when I translate this sentence, I translate it as the soldier said that the messenger was carrying a letter. So I've translated portare with was carrying, whilst here I've translated portare with is carrying. So I need to be very careful here. When I have the present infinitive, I know one fact. I know that the action expressed by the verb portare, to carry, is happening at the same time as the verb of the main clause. So the action to carry here is happening at the same time as the verb in the main clause. So it does not matter whether the verb in the main clause is present tense or perfect tense. if I have a present infinitive, then the action is happening at the same time. Let's see now what happens when I change the tense of the infinitive. So, milles dicit nuntium epistulam portavisse. Because portavisse is a perfect infinitive, I know that this action happened before the verb in the main clause. So the soldier says that the messenger carried a letter. This action, carried, expressed by the verb portavisse, happened before, in the past. And if I have the verb in the main clause which is already a perfect tense, then I need to translate this sentence in a different way again. So, milles dixit nuntium epistolam portavisse. The soldier said that the messenger had carried a letter. So, because I have a perfect infinitive, portavisse, I know that the action of carrying happened before the main verb, dixit. So the soldier said that the messenger had carried a letter before, in the past. So how do I spot the perfect infinitive? I need the stem of the perfect tense first, and then I need to add the specific ending isse. This is how I build the perfect infinitive. And so, for example, laudavisse, which I translate as to have praised, is the perfect infinitive of the verb laudo. So, present infinitive is laudare, perfect infinitive built from the stem of the perfect tense, laudavisse, to have praised. This is for the active perfect infinitive. For the passive, I need the perfect passive participle and the present infinitive of the verb sum, which is esse. So, for example, laudatus esse, translated as to have been praised, is the passive perfect participle of laudo. Let's use this in a sentence. Amicus dixit militem ab imperatore laudatum esse. The friend said that the soldier, militem, had been praised, laudatum esse, by the commander. And here I have laudatum, accusative, because this passive perfect infinitive goes with militem, which is of course accusative case as well. Good, easy to spot. And that's all for today. It's now your time to practice indirect statements. Best of luck, Y10, and now we're going to mark our work together.